Fuck him, Bucky.
Fuck him, Bucky? What is that? Where is that? Where does Bucky come into this?
You never heard fuck him, Bucky?
No, I've never heard fuck him, Bucky.
It's an old expression, fuck him, Bucky.
Welcome to Sex Talk with my mom. I'm Cam Poter.
And I'm KarenLee Poter.
That's my mother.
And that's my son.
We chat about sex on a weekly basis and all the things you typically don't talk about with a parent.
We like to make the most uncomfortable conversations comfortable.
So strap in,
strap on,
and enjoy the ride. Welcome to Sex Talk with my mom. I'm Cam Poter.
And I'm KarenLee Poter.
We're chatting about sex and all the things that mothers and sons typically find uncomfortable to talk about. This week, I was actually astonished.
What?
I received a text from you and a call from you that I needed to watch this TikTok video.
And there's a reason for that.
What was this?
Because I received many different messages on TikTok from my various friends across the world.
Uh-huh.
And they were also appalled by this comment and said, "What say you, KarenLee?"
You were triggered by this thing.
I got triggered.
Well, what was so triggering about this?
Why don't I play it and see what the sneaky freaks think?
Okay, sneaky freaks, hold on to your horses. My mother might just explode right now.
I'm 42. My boyfriend is 32. Nancy, let me explain something. Unless you got a smoking bod or you're supporting him and start paying something. But then there's something wrong with the dude. By the way, if there's a 35-year-old who's wanted to date 45-year-olds over 30-year-olds, there's something wrong with
Correct.
Him.
I was going to say,
the
guy has
good
issues.
Enough.
So therefore, the guy has issues.
Or he can't pull 30-year-olds, so he has to go older.
So good for you, Nancy, that you hooked a younger guy. But the reality is, are you really, truly fucking happy?
Does older woman want a younger guy?
That's my point.
Why would
Are you really, like, it's great, you're single, you're probably divorced, Nancy, which is great. You're probably having a little fun saying, fuck society, I can do it because my ex-husband cheated on me with a younger chick, and now I'm going to prove to him, and I've been working out, and you probably lost 30 pounds, and probably now going out and not as tired as when you were fucking married.
Wait, she's not unattractive.
No, not at all. Married for 20 plus years. But the point is, I bet you don't look that way, Nancy, the way you did when you were married to your husband. And the other thing is, I'm telling you is that I'm happy if you're happy, but ask why a guy in his early 30s wants to date a girl in his 40s.
Oh.
Those are fighting words. I mean, steam is pouring out of my ears.
What are you feeling right now, Mother?
Well, first of all, when I heard this, I immediately thought, this is a type of guy that I would end up hating if I went out with him.
Yeah. Well, who are these guys?
Actually, I think it's a father-son team.
Another duo like us.
Yeah, but I thought it would be like someone who I could joke around with, but I'm just too angry to even joke around with him.
So you saw this father and son talking about, relationships and shit, and you thought, okay, maybe with these can be some people we can collab with, and instead we're going to war with them.
I want to go to war with them.
Why are we going to war? Okay, so these guys, what's the whole premise of this video?
The whole premise is that apparently this woman named Nancy said that she was in her 40s and she was dating a guy in the 30s, and I don't know why they chose to go off on her, like there's something wrong with her for doing this,
and wrong with the guy for choosing to date this older woman.
I took a few notes.
You took notes on this?
That's how angry I was.
Now, for sneaky freaks who are just tuning in for the first time, you have to understand, my mother is in a large age gap relationship with a guy who's much younger than her. 15
years younger.
And
we've been together for 14 and a half years.
Okay, so it's a successful relationship. Well, however you define success, it's long-standing.
Yes.
And you are also the best-selling author of A Cougar's Guide to Getting Your Ass Back Out There.
Yes.
And Fuck Games Date Cougars.
Which I posted note a few pages just to read to our
you did some fucking prep work for this episode.
You know what? This is my sweet spot.
This
here.
is your bailiwick.
That was what I was going to say. Bailiwick.
I could see your mouth going to bailiwick, and then you said,
"What is bailiwick?"
I don't know what the fuck a bailiwick is.
Well, whatever. It's in my wheelhouse.
Okay, so I want you to school these fuckers.
First of all, are we
going to name them, or are we going to keep them anonymous? Are you going to give them the
Dick and Dickie?
Dick and Dickie. Are you going to give them the honor of being mentioned on our podcast if people want to check out this douchebag couple?
Yeah, I think it's called Daddy Issues Podcast.
Not the one with Oliver Hudson, which you thought. You called me up. You're like, Oliver Hudson, who also hosts a podcast called Daddy Issues. It was not him.
It was a different Oliver Hudson that hosts.
No, it's not Oliver Hudson.
Okay, whatever.
It's a different podcast called Daddy Issues by two completely different people.
whatever it is.
Okay.
It's just like, how can this
You
father...
were going off about Oliver Hudson for a while until I realized, no, this is not Oliver Hudson in this picture, in this video.
But there's an older man. And
Yes.
by the way, they're both attractive people.
Yeah, what do these guys look like?
I mean, the guy's older. He's got, gray or white hair or whatever. And he's not a bad-looking dude. And his son looks pretty much just like him, just not his gray version.
Would you go after this guy if you saw him at a bar?
I might, until he opened his mouth.
And then tumbles out douchebag words.
I mean, as a male, what did you think?
Yo, this guy fucking is completely ignorant.
Father and son.
Both of them.
Both douches.
Ignoramus. I mean, I think the son probably is a little more
Woke
or educated or open-minded than his father. The father is clearly pulling women. Come on, what is he talking about?
I also did some other diving into some other stuff that he's done.
Okay.
Apparently he's been married for 30 years. And he said that two differences in a vagina. There's only two differences. It's the smell, and also it was how loose it is. Those are the two differences. Otherwise, they're all the same.
Across all vaginas.
Yes.
The guy's an ignoramus.
Ignoramus. But anyway, I'm not going to even go to that.
Okay,
video.
so let's hear your comments on this.
My
the
comments.
notes.
Okay, so
I love that you open up TikTok and you start taking notes.
I'm sorry, I had to.
You think you're the only person who writes notes looking at a TikTok?
No.
You think other people are there with a notepad making comments to themselves?
Well, we get a lot of comments, so I'm guessing that that's true. But anyway, let me just say, the only reason that he's saying a younger guy would go with an older woman is either she's got a smoking bod or for financial support.
Okay.
I mean, what does it say about men then?
Well, can you say that the same for younger women going for older men?
I think it's more likely that a younger woman's going to go for an older man because of financial support. I have to say that.
Well, so what was the double standard here?
It's a double standard.
You're like, it's not okay for a younger guy to go for an older woman.
He just thought that the only reason.
It's the only reason,
It's the only reason, right.
Which is not, I mean, it could be a reason for a younger woman to also date an older man.
It could be.
But it's not the only reason.
Not typical,
necessarily.
By the way.
Not typical.
In my research, no.
Really?
No. Most younger girls that go out with older men are doing it for the money.
That's my point, mother. What the fuck is going on here? You're saying it's not always the same for younger men going out with older women.
Yeah, rarely do I hear that they're looking for sugar mamas as opposed to just cougars.
Yeah.
There's a difference. I've done many videos on that aspect too. But anyway, let's just keep going because I can go on for the next hour about how irritated I was. What does that mean, can't pull 30-year-olds? What is that, can't pull?
Yeah, I was affected by that as well.
Well, what were your thoughts?
I think that was very outdated language and very objectifying.
Objectifying, exactly.
It's fucking bullshit.
So this guy can't pull 30-year-olds. Why would he want to pull 30-year-olds? And they, by the way,
you're against 30-year-olds now?
No, I'm just saying that why would a younger guy who I could tell you over the years have expressed how much they adore older women for so many different reasons.
Yeah.
Not the least of it are that women, they love to be taught in the bedroom.
Yeah. I mean, there are a lot of reasons why someone might want to date someone out of their age range, whether you're a man, woman, in whichever gender you're interested in.
I mean, our videographer over here, Joseph, I just asked him when I walked in if he had dated an older woman, and sure enough, Joseph, what do you got to say?
Yeah.
Yes. So how old were you when you were dating?
Wait, is this an interview with Joseph?
I just
right
want to
now?
know.
What's going on over
Joseph,
here?
he's a little sneaky freak.
Yeah,
All
come
right.
on. Yeah, you don't want to go on to that side.
You're in the hot seat now, Joseph.
Hello there. I'm in the hot seat. I am Joseph, the videographer. How can I be assistance?
You can be assistance by telling us just a quick little
It
experience
is
you
true
had.
that I have dated an older woman.
And how old were you when you were dating this
I
older?
was 15.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was going to say, oh, man, I didn't want to go down this route, did I?
I was 30 and she was in her 40s.
There you go.
There you go.
And now, what would you say were the advantages of having that relationship?
No advantages. It's exactly the same thing that I experienced throughout all my dating experience. Yeah.
No advantages.
None.
What would you say?
I think if she was in her 60s or 70s, there would be like a noticeable difference, but there was no difference.
Wow.
No difference.
But no cons either?
No cons. It's just dating a normal, typical woman that was in my age range or in my generation, that I find no difference.
I love it. Well, thank you for being on our show.
Okay.
And
I will leave and go back to the cameras.
Okay.
Thank you, Joseph. I love that you just fucking call people into this.
Well, we need a little. I needed to hear more.
You're the sneaky freak of the week, by the way,
Yeah,
Joseph.
Joseph is our sneaky freak of the week. We always like to include a sneaky freak.
We're very inclusive on this show.
We're very inclusive.
We are so inclusive, actually, that we turn to the sneaky freaks and ask them if they have dated outside of their age group and what were the pros and cons.
Cam, I am not done yet.
Oh, Jesus. All right,
I
let's
would
hear
just
it,
like
Mother.
I haven't even gotten to when he goes on.
Did you hear that segue, though? It was so nice.
It was beautiful.
But you're pulling us
I'm
back.
still irritated.
You still got notes you want to go through.
Because this guy goes on a rant saying that the only reason that this younger guy would be with this older woman is that she probably was divorced. Her ex cheated on her with a younger guy, with a younger woman.
Yeah, this is some fucking bullshit right here.
And by the way, I looked up. He's been married for 30 years. So maybe he's talking about himself.
Why are you doing? Why do you care so much about this guy?
It's just the haughtiness, the arrogance, the know-it-allism. I mean, it's just everything I despise.
Got your goat.
And then he says she probably lost 30 pounds, assuming she And by the way,
from the marriage to now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, what is he now? He's body shaming on top of everything else, and then he said, and she's not as tired. You know what? The most common complaint that I hear from women my age, that the men are so tired that all they want to do is go home, eat, and go to sleep.
Yeah.
He's talking about the women? Are you kidding me? Well, anyway.
What would you do right now if he were in this room?
I would.
If I said, come on in, John, or whatever the fuck this guy's name is.
Dickie.
Come on in, Dickie. What would you say to this guy?
Dickie, you little dick.
You little dick. Would you say you little dick?
No, I wouldn't say. Oh, he probably does have a little.
Oh
bit.
God!
No,
look at you body
oh
shaming
no,
over here.
that was not
Dude,
right.
You're full of double standards over here.
No, he doesn't have a little dick. I don't even care if he does have a little dick. He acts like he does. He acts like he drives like a fancy car.
Yeah.
Just to prove that he's got money. He just is all about everything I can't stand.
Superficial.
The reason I like being involved with a younger man is so that they're not set in their ways of hating women. And apparently this guy just only uses women as objects.
Okay, so let's start with you. What do you think are the pros and cons of dating outside of your age range?
Okay, first of all, I guess I'm going to just say in terms of a younger man dating an older woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Or an older woman like yourself dating a younger man.
Okay, so what do you want to hear first?
Your perspective. What is your perspective on dating a younger man? Why do you like to date these?
Okay, well, when I first became single,
Yeah.
the most important thing was for me to go out and have fun and companionship.
Uh-huh.
A lot of the older men, they don't want to do that. They want to have food. They want to have a quick lay, which are probably not good in bed because they just have never been educated, unfortunately.
You're saying the older men at this point?
Yep.
Okay, so interesting take. Not the same as what some of our listeners, Sneaky Freak listeners, have
Okay.
described about dating older men, but go on.
I have my own anecdotal evidence.
Okay. You found that the guys your age don't know how to fuck?
Or they're used to being sent. One of the guys said, I wouldn't even wear condoms. You dated a guy and you'd have to wear condoms. He called him Condom Boy.
Condom Boy.
Yeah.
What a dingus.
Dingus. I dated some dinguses, and not the least of which I talked about last week.
I mean, it sounds like you've dated some stunk guys
They're
that were your
stunks.
age, and then you were like, you know what, I gotta go either to a different location or a different age group.
And that's the thing. In different life passages, you want different things. And at that point, I did not want an old stunk who asked me about getting Botox.
Because how old were you during
Did
this?
you just missed that?
They asked you about getting Botox?
Yeah, he looks at me across the table and goes, did you get any Botox in your forehead? Because I'm thinking of doing it. Who wants to hear that on a first date?
Why not? Why not? You're getting Botox again with the double standards.
I would never want a guy to ask me that.
So it's more about offensive to you. Why are you talking about my regimen?
No, it was just like, it's just so superficial. And anyway, the young guys, they are ready they're spontaneous. They will do crazy ass things like, look for cicadas when you're smoking hash.
What?
Okay, never mind.
What the fuck was that?
That was a little experience I had once.
With who?
One of the guys I was with.
Oh, just one of the young cubs.
I had
looking for cicadas while smoking hash?
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, I was smoking hash and I was looking for some cicadas.
That's what you wanted a partner?
It was a 17-year cicada thing.
So the cicadas were all coming back and you were on hash?
And we went out in the backyard.
Where did you get hash?
A friend of mine gave me hash. He went to Amsterdam.
How do you smoke hash? You light it up
under a glass.
You lit it under a glass?
Yeah, and then you just stick your head under there and you suck it in and you smoke it.
Was this in like my house that I grew up in?
Yeah, it's a good high.
Mom!
What?
This is fucked up.
Okay,
so
why?
You smoked hash with some young guy?
Yeah.
And then what's with the cicadas?
We decided to go searching for cicadas. We were stoned.
Your eyebrows are going up. I know you were fucking stoned. You're smoking hash and searching for cicadas.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh my God.
Anyway, but you want to be with a guy like that who's spontaneous, who's fun to be with, who a lot of the guys would be like, I wish there was a woman my age that was as fun and entertaining as you. Because I would.
So you think a young woman wouldn't smoke hash and go search for cicadas?
No, I mean, there are also some of the younger women that are like, I'm looking for a guy who's going to provide me with a daddy, to be a daddy for my unborn children. I mean, there's a lot of reasons that they have, like, you feel more obligated.
So this would be a reason for a younger guy to want an older woman?
Yes.
Okay, but what about an older woman wanting a younger man? So it sounds like he gives you a very youthful spirit.
Yes, and I'm youthful spirited in general. Yes. Yeah.
What else? He smokes hash.
Exposes me to new music.
New music, okay.
What else? Just learning, the willingness to learn.
Okay, so this is a big point, and I think this should be underlined and highlighted.
Like molding a piece of clay.
Because as we age, we get set in our ways.
Yes.
And we become less flexible.
Yes.
And so when you're with a younger person, they can be a little more open-minded in general. This is a blanket statement. I'm sure there's older people that are very open-minded. Do you think of yourself as an open-minded person?
Yeah. I haven't got... What? What was it? What? What do you mean I'm not an open-minded person?
No, I'm just wondering.
What was that?
Like mixing up your whole... I guess you are.
I'm very open-minded, Cam. Are you open-minded?
I'm extremely open-minded.
Oh,
My floodgates are open.
Oh, yeah.
You can mold me like a little piece of clay.
Yeah, right. Anyway, I have a list of wonderful things that women find in younger men.
Where's that list?
It's in my book.
You want to bring this out right now?
Sure.
Fuck games, date cougars. You heard about it here first, folks.
Yep.
A book that will change your fucking life.
Let me just share some of these.
Oh God!
Special little.
Can we move on?
All right, let's move on. When you know what? Just go buy the damn book. It's called "Fuck Games, Date Cougars." It's on Amazon. Support your local author.
Okay, so in terms of cons, have you found that there are any cons to dating younger men?
Well, yes.
What?
Because sometimes they're irresponsible, and you have to school them about that. Like,
school them?
Yeah, they're used to showing up whenever they want, and if you're like that with an older woman, no, the reason I say fuck games, date cougars is because older women do not have time for any bullshit from these younger guys who just decide to wait till the last minute and then stand me up. That kind of shit.
Who is doing that?
It happened a couple times, and it never will happen again. No.
I've never stood someone up on a date, no matter what age I was.
It wasn't a date. There's a difference. It's not called dating. It's called booty calling.
Booty call. You got stood up on a booty call by a young guy?
Or just made me wait. I don't like waiting.
Okay.
So I don't like you have to kind of school them about the game playing or the texting.
You're kind of like schooling.
Or if I'm on the phone with them and then all of a sudden I don't hear anything. Oh, you fell asleep? Well, you know what? Don't go falling asleep when I'm on the call.
Okay.
But anyway, in general, I think it's a wonderful relationship because the young guy doesn't have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Because the woman doesn't give a shit. She's not there to get a sugar daddy. That's for sure.
I don't know. There's also the argument that you can make that where like the older woman has likely a stable career or stable income, right, and they want to live a certain standard of living.
Right.
And if their partner who's younger doesn't have a stable career, they might have difficulty with that.
Or they'd be okay with it.
Okay. Well,
and also, I'm talking
there.
Dating versus relationships. There's a whole, it depends on your life passage. When I became single, I wasn't looking for a relationship. I was just looking to have good time, good companionship, and good sex. I'm just going to call it as it is.
I've been thinking about, thank you for calling it as it is.
You're welcome.
I was thinking, I've heard these points drilled into my fucking noggin for the past maybe 15 years.
For me?
Yes. And, when I've gone out with older women, I kind of expected a more, stable person who is kind of
Hold the phone. Hold the phone.
What?
First of all, I don't remember you ever dating an older woman.
Well, I didn't. You've been on every date that I've been on?
Well, you would have shared it if it was successful. Apparently, you only shared the downers.
Hold on. You're not even listening.
Go ahead.
And then one of the other big pros that you mentioned was like, well, if you're dating an older woman, she's likely not going to be looking for a family or children.
Right. She
was. She was.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
That's very concerning.
That is the only
because
major
then
concern.
Then the pressure's on. You got to fucking perform. You got to be pulling out kids very soon. Talking about pulling children out of the fucking womb.
I have found that to be not the case most of the time. That the women that are in their 40s already had their kids. They're not looking to have another family. Very rarely are you going to find an older woman who wants to have kids.
Yeah.
But again, knowing you look like the kind of guy that...
Why do I look like that?
I don't know.
Well, you got a different look.
You're like the relationship kind of kid.
Oh, fuck. You called me up. This. I just wanted to make this note. You called me up and you were like, "Thank God you're not like this guy. Thank God I raised a beta son, not like these fucking douchebag alphas that are on this TikTok."
Yeah, you took offense.
Yeah. What kind of comment is it?
I don't like those alpha male bro kind of guys.
You don't call your son a beta son?
What are you? What's against an alpha? What's the opposite
I could be an
of
alpha in my own way.
I don't like alphas.
Okay, well, either way, what is a mutually, you're on a level playing field with someone.
Well,
what is this?
I didn't mean it to.
Up or down, or what is this?
I didn't mean it as a criticism.
You're putting me in a hierarchy.
I just thought saying that you're a nice person, not one of these idiots.
Yeah, okay. Don't refer to me as a beta son.
All right, you're not a beta son.
I don't want to be a beta son.
I'm sorry. Did not realize that was an insult.
It's a fucking insult.
Well, I would rather have a beta than an alpha any day of the week.
Oh, okay. And I'm not a fucking beta.
Okay.
God damn. All right. Sneaky freaks. It's the summer. It's hot. What is more important than a good night's sleep on a mattress that you're not going to steam up and sweat in?
Pretty much nothing compares to the Helix mattress.
Helix Sleep has a quiz that just takes 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. If you sleep hot, they ask you that, they'll send you a mattress that cools you down.
If you have morning aches, they'll send you something that gets great spinal alignment.
And it was super easy to set up, by the way. They sent me the box in the mail. I undid it. It pops up. I mean, it's good quality, too. It's not like one of these things you think you're in the mail. It's not going to be that great, but it's actually phenomenal. GQ and Wired Magazine wrote that it was the #1 best overall mattress of 2021.
There you go.
And they have a 10-year warranty. You get to try it out risk-free for 100 nights. And right now, Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders.
That's a great bargain.
And 2 free pillows, Mother.
Oh, man. This is a deal.
Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/sextalk. Sex talk is one word. helixsleep.com/sextalk. They'll give you $200 off their awesome mattresses, and they got remarkable pillows. They'll send you 2 of them for free. helixsleep.com/sextalk. Mother, I was very disturbed by a call I received this week from your boyfriend Deez.
What?
He calls me up in the middle of my workday, and he says, "Hey, I heard you have a masturbator over there."
You mean the blow motion?
I'm talking about the blow motion from Love Honey.
Oh, yeah.
He wants it. I mean, I don't blame him. Love Honey makes incredible vibrators and sex toys, and I don't blame him. Love Honey is the world's largest online sex toy store, and they have incredible products like this blow motion. It warms your cock up as you put it in here.
Look
in this
at
little
this.
cone.
You're so excited about this.
And it's got a motor in here, and it has different rhythms, different intensities. It's unbelievable. My friends, if you've never used air pulse technology, you got to try this out.
It's like having your own gentleman in there with a really good tongue.
Right now, lovehoney.com is offering our listeners 20% off their order when you enter code MOM20, MOM20 at checkout at the link in our episode's description. That's lovehoney.com, LOVEHONEY. Use code MOM20 to get 20% off these delicious toys. Lovehoney.com, code MOM20. The link is in our episode's description.
Try it. You will not be disappointed. All right, go into the Sneaky Freaks.
All right, let's take it to the Sneaky Freaks.
I thought we were going to get mostly older women, younger men relationships. I didn't realize that there were a lot of...
We got both sides.
Yeah.
First of all, we got a fuckload of responses to this. It was crazy.
And I told you that was going to happen. You were like, you sure people are going to want to chime in? I go, oh, I am sure.
By the way, if anyone ever wants to chime in to our weekly question, we send out once a week, although this time was twice a week because we recorded twice a week. But usually it's once a week, so you're not getting harassed. It's just a fun way for us to communicate with you. We could do it anonymously if you want to just tell us. We want to keep you anonymous. But we read as many responses as we can on the show because we love to hear from you. Our number is 310-356-3920. And you can also check our episode's description. It's the first thing in all of our episode's description. The number's right there. Okay.
And just sign up because you'll get the text. You don't have to respond, but I think it'd be fun for you to see what everybody else is doing.
Okay. Here we go. We're going to start with Mike. Mike says, yes, I've dated an older woman, much older, about 20 years my senior.
You go, Mike.
She was much more experienced than myself and overall an amazing lover.
This is what I would expect to get.
Yep, you got it. There we go. How about this one from Marley? I'm married outside of my age group. My husband is 18 years older than me.
Ooh.
He knew I wanted kids. We have 2 so far. He is so patient, steady, and even where I'm sometimes up and down. It bothered me when we dated, but once I realized I may never find a love like this again, I had to accept it. Of course, I worry that we won't grow old together, but my mom was widowed young, dead dad club solidarity. Hello.
Hello.
So you never know what can happen, even if you marry someone your own age. I see a lot of my friends struggle with their marriages and having babies and their husbands that didn't know what to expect. I have to admit, I have one of the happiest marriages I know of my friends, my age, and that could be a coincidence, but I love you guys, and you brighten my week.
Well, that's a happy ending story.
Great to hear from Mark. So this is a younger woman, an older man relationship.
Well,
seems
it
to be
did
working
bring
out
up
like
another
a fucking
point, which was that women typically live 3 to 4 years longer than males. So
Yeah.
you kind of want to find someone that's 3 to 4 years older if you want to die together.
Did you hear what she's saying, though? You
I
never
know,
know when the partner's going to die.
That's true. And also another aspect to what I would say these little dickies brought up is about how a person ages and how a person gets, heavier or, whatever it is that happens during a marriage.
Yeah.
What is you going to do? Kick them out of bed if they gain 30 pounds? I mean, what are you going to do?
So what is the point here?
The point is that we never know what's going to happen in our future, right?
Yeah.
So you got to live for the now.
Yeah.
And if you find someone that you really connect with, age should not matter at all.
Yeah. So this is from Mackenzie. My boyfriend is 10 years older than me. The pros are he is better at letting things go than anyone I've dated my own age, myself included, which I think is the wisdom that comes over time.
That's true.
The cons are he always is pointing out where certain stores used to be. Nostalgia for fast food gone by, I guess.
I think that's more of a personality trait because Deez does that. Oh,
And he's
remember
a
this?
younger guy.
And he's a younger guy, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, he's constantly pointing out shit. Well, some people like to point out shit.
I don't know.
They're
People
pointers.
like to point.
Sometimes when I'm in kind of like a lighter mood
You'll point at
and I'm
things
just
too.
kind of chit-chatty, I'll start commenting on the places around us, like who's going into that place. I just start jibber-jabbering.
I've never known you to jibber jabber.
I never jibber-jabber on you.
Why don't you
I'm
jibber
a straight
jabber?
shooter with you.
I like a few jibber jabber.
I will not jibber. Today in the car on the way here,
No jibber
I was
jabbering.
thinking to myself, how does my mother have this many things to say? It's unbelievable. I couldn't believe how many topics you could bring up in the matter of like a few minutes with so few responses from me.
It's called ADD.
It was unreal. I don't even think of that many things in my head like during a day.
Do you know what your father said?
Yes.
You've
You
heard
can tell it to the listeners.
listeners, sneaky freaks. When I was like in my 20s, he said, "Do you realize, Karen, that if you are at a certain amount of when you're born, you have a certain allotment of words that you're able to say in a lifetime, that you would have used yours up already in your 20s."
Yes. There's an irony there that you could barely get those words out of your mouth talking about your own words.
It's a lot of words.
That's a lot of words.
In my brain, they're all jumbled up.
I would be so terrified if I were in that skull of yours.
In the skull.
Terrified.
That's the way the brain operates.
This is what happens when you smoke so much hash underneath a fucking
There's nothing wrong with smoking a
glass.
little hash. I wish I could have a little hash right this minute.
Jesus Christ. Hey, Joseph, do you have any hash in here? Norma says, yes, seems like younger men are becoming more attracted to older women.
Woo, hoo, hoo. It's all because of Demi Moore, by the way.
You think she started it?
With Ashton Kutcher. Yeah, absolutely. She started the whole cougar. By the way, you know I reinvented the word cougar to be confident, older, unique, genuine, assertive, and racy woman.
Yeah, I'm fucking aware of that,
I
Mother.
just wanted to let the sneaky freaks know about that.
Okay. So you don't think it had anything to do with like MILFs and porn and stuff like that?
First of all, if you talk to my friend Nancy Sutton Pierce,
yeah,
who
the doctor,
she and I go nuts when people call us MILFs.
Why?
That's so objectifying. Mother, I would like to fuck. Come on. That is so objectifying.
I wouldn't mind if someone called me a sylph.
A sylph? You're a sylph?
Wouldn't mind it.
Son, I'd like to fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to get those sneaky freaks going here. Anybody want a sylph? I'm a sitting
fucking
across
better than
from
a
it.
bilf.
What's that?
A beta I'd like to fuck.
Oh!
You love that? We're not talking about beta anymore. I can't stand that joke.
Right.
Okay, anyway. Norma goes on to say she's 58. She gets all kinds of 20-somethings and 30-somethings sliding into her DMs.
Always.
She goes, I was engaged to a man 15 years younger. Look at that. The pros were more energy.
Yep.
More excitement.
Yep.
More stamina.
Oh, yeah.
The cons were immaturity, of course.
Unfortunately.
And mommy issues.
Not always. Not always.
What do you mean, not always?
I don't think you can generalize and say that I hate that if you reverse it and say that a girl has daddy issues. It drives me nuts.
Well, and this is her experience.
Okay. Norma?
You could be fucking Norma up until the last sentence.
Norma, you and I would have a lot of fun together. I found that there is like a whole mindset of women who, at first they might say, oh, I've never dated someone that young. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't date someone that's the same age as my son. The next thing you know, they're doing it. They're just not doing it in a public setting.
Yeah. We got a few responses here. I mean, I don't know if we want to go into this.
Yes.
I mean, this is kind of a wild response.
Okay.
I'll read it. This is from Glenda. I've dated outside of my age group. When I was 16, I told this guy I was 18. He told me he was 22. He was really 28.
Oh my God.
We saw each other because a lot of problems. See, I was a child under the custody of the state, and he was a cop, so we snuck around to see each other. The cons were he was a pro.
A pro? This is a
wild story that's about to happen.
I don't think you should go on. I like to move on to the next one.
Let's just say he used to make me bubble baths and record me. I had no clue it was wrong.
Oh, she's 16?
She was 16.
All right, move on. We're not
Then the guy
encouraged.
gets caught. Oh my God.
Oh,
this is
my
unbelievable.
God.
But the pros of the relationship, she says, were that he was someone who made her feel safe, and he had a job and money and a car, and it was really nice to start to
job, money, car, all
Yeah.
material things. So far, I'm proving my point.
Okay, all right.
How about this one? I dated a 35-year-old woman when I was 48. It was flattering that I, quote, still had it, but I couldn't keep up with her energy level at all. LOL. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
You love that the older women got that gusto, that juju.
Them young men have a hard time keeping up with the older women, especially once they've.
Let me tell you
Like,
something.
just imagine you're in a marriage and usually if you're divorced, the sex is not good at the end of the relationship because you're having problems, right?
Yeah.
You get single again, and the floodgates open.
You're rearing to go.
You are
Like a little jackrabbit.
If you're a young guy looking to find older women, just go to those like hotel lobby bars. Sit there. You're going to find some horny old, not even old. You're going to find some horny women going through a second adolescence.
All right. Thank you for that very hot tip, Mother. This is from Drew. Wife and I both dated outside of our age group. She's only been with older guys. The pros of experience, maturity, stability. In our experience, we didn't have any cons other than the age gap that people saw. That's actually a common theme of a lot of these
Right.
These
like
responses.
Deez and I, at this point, he looks older than me. Am I right?
I don't
Nobody
wanna
guesses that we're at different ages.
No. But so what happens though? I mean, when you started dating, you were younger. I mean, you're 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. So were people looking at you like, hey, what are you doing with this younger dude?
People would always somehow mention it.
And what do they say?
Oh, you go, girl.
You go, girl. So
Yeah.
you were getting the props.
Yeah, people were like, oh, younger guy, you go, girl. Yeah.
And did you get any judgment or no?
Yes.
What were the judgers?
Well, there's always, and that's in my book too. The family, friends, they judge, and especially if you're like taking like from a old, let's just imagine a mother who wants her son to have children, and she sees this guy
Yeah.
is dating someone who's done with having kids. Then,
Yep.
then you get the judgments of, whether or not the guy wants to have kids or not, you're getting the mother saying, she's taking my grandchildren away.
Okay. Yeah.
So as long as you don't have to introduce every single person to the rest of the family when you've got kids, as long as if you know what you want and you're real serious and you're confident in your decisions, then people will go along and accept whoever you're with.
This is a good metaphor for life.
Yeah.
If you are steadfast in your own opinions and your ways, the people will start believing whatever you're putting down.
Right.
So let me ask you, how do you deal with people who judge you for large age gap relationships?
The same way I deal with anyone who judges me.
Which is what?
Fuck 'em, Bucky.
Fuck 'em, Bucky? Fuck 'em, Bucky? What is that? Where is that?
I'm sorry. I'm going to just say that nobody should judge anybody else.
Wait, but where does Bucky come into
Oh,
this?
you never heard fuck 'em, Bucky?
No, I've never heard
Yeah,
fuck 'em,
it's
Bucky.
an old expression, fuck 'em, Bucky.
We did get.
I mean, what about you?
What about me?
What if people judge you for who you're dating?
Yeah, I probably would say fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em, Bucky?
I say fuck 'em, Bucky.
All right, good.
Yeah, I don't think I've dated anyone where I've felt judged for it. Honestly, and maybe that's because the people around me are open-minded, or maybe
Right.
I'm not dating enough, or I'm dating very,
Well, you always said if I
what people expect me to date.
You know what you used to say
What?
throughout your whole life?
Hmm.
If I'm dating a woman and she's taking advantage of me, please let me know.
Yeah, it's not a good sign that I didn't trust myself to know that.
Do you remember saying that?
Of course, I remember saying that. I started saying that when I was 7 years old.
I know.
That's not a good. That is. I should mention this to my therapist. My therapist would have a fucking field day if I brought that up to her. I would.
But-
She'd talk the whole fucking what?
But at this point, I think you recognize that you don't need someone else to tell you if someone, because you just said, I don't think anybody's judged me.
Well, we'll see. Who knows who I'm going to start dating. Megan goes on to say, I've dated someone 7 years younger, and I just married him on Saturday.
I love that.
Congratulations, Megan.
You sneaky freak. That's awesome.
And the only con is other people being judgmental.
That's
but,
right.
But fuck 'em.
Fuck 'em, Bucky.
Fuck 'em, Bucky.
That's the name of this episode is now called Fuck 'em, Bucky.
Fuck 'em, Bucky. Where did this come from, fuck 'em, Bucky?
I don't know. Look it up, Cam.
I'm not going to look it up. You
Okay.
look it up.
I don't know how to look it up.
Oh, my God.
Joseph, look this up. Will you
No,
please?
I got Fuck 'em, Bucky here as a song by Buddy Lee.
There you go.
Who's Buddy Lee?
It's
Also, a bunch of gay porn came on just now. fuck me, buddy, gay porn videos. Oh, my God. What? Was not expecting that. Okay.
maybe that was what you were watching.
No, I was not watching
Your nails.
fucking buddy gay porn videos. Sneaky freaks, we want you to be healthy. And that's why we recommend Everlywell. They make at-home lab tests that can help you get the knowledge and support you need so you can be a healthier you.
And I'm going to tell you something that I haven't told anybody.
What?
I took the Everlywell Women's Health Test.
And what did it tell you?
I was astounded to find out that I'm high in testosterone.
You're high in testosterone?
Yes.
I took the men's test. I'm low in testosterone.
Oh, my goodness.
We got to do some switcheroo over here.
Yeah, well, I'll give you some of my testosterone.
This is the type of knowledge that you can take with an at-home lab test and then bring to your doctor.
And that's exactly what I did.
They have 30 different at-home lab tests, and here's how it works. Everlywell will ship you the product straight to you with everything you need to take the test. You take the at-home lab test. They send it out. They include a prepaid shipping label to mail your test back to a certified lab. Your physician-reviewed results get sent to your phone or device in just days.
It's very simple. Over 1 million people have trusted Everlywell to support their health and wellness goals, and you should too.
For listeners of the show, Everlywell is offering a special discount of 20% off an at-home lab test. 20%. at everlywell.com/sneaky. That's everlywell.com/sneaky
Sneaky is spelled SNEAKY.
for 20% off your next at-home lab test. everlywell.com/sneaky. The link is in our episode's description.
Cam, when I was a young girl, I used to love reading Nancy Friday's books called The Secret Garden and I think it's Forbidden Flowers.
Was that erotica?
That's erotica. And I have something better than erotica right now.
What is that?
Dipsy.
Oh, Dipsy Stories, an app full of short, sexy audio stories that will turn you on.
They're designed by women for women, although I think it's fun to share with your partner.
Oh, you can use it to kind of get you in the mood.
That's right. People always want to say, how do you get in the mood? Listen to Dipsy Stories. Can you play one?
Oh, I'll play a little bit of one.
I leaned into him, and he pulled back for a second to take off his glasses. Then he leaned all the way into me.
See, this is the type of thing I can get into.
I figured.
I wear glasses.
He wears glasses.
He wears glasses. She's leaning into him. I'm leaning into her.
Yeah.
You know, drops you right in the middle of this scene. You really can visualize it.
And it's not like someone is reading it verbatim. They're different actors acting out the parts, which makes it so much more realistic. It's immersive.
Yeah, and there's always something new. They're constantly updating their catalog. So it's definitely worth checking out if you're a fan of erotica.
Explore those fantasies.
They
It's
also
called
have
Dipsy.
They also have written erotica, by the way. So if you don't want an audio, you can do it. You can read it.
You got the Nancy Fridays all over again.
For listeners of the show, Dipsy is offering an extended 30-day free trial when you go to dipsystories.com/mom.
That's free?
That's 30 days of full access for free when you go to dipseastories.com/mom. dipsystories.com/mom. All right, so let's wrap it up. I wrote down a few trends that I saw among all these responses.
You wrote things down
I took
too.
some fucking notes.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're
I'm
welcome.
not the only one taking notes.
No, you're not. I came prepared. Okay, so I kind of broke it down into 4 different,
What'd
quadrants.
You do, a spreadsheet?
Quadrants.
Quadrants?
Yeah, a little grid. Okay, so we have younger, and by the way, this is just for heterosexual relationships, but this could apply for same-sex relationships as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but let's just say, for clarity, younger women dating older men
Okay.
from the woman's perspective, from the younger woman's perspective.
Okay.
But this could be younger man's perspective, dating an older man.
I get it.
Okay.
Cam.
The pros are money. This is what was mentioned: money, stability, and comfort in the man being comfortable in their own skin.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I'm not surprised.
Okay.
Are you?
No, that makes a lot of sense to me. The cons are the older man might lose libido or die sooner.
Okay.
They might have ex-wives.
They absolutely will.
Not absolutely.
A lot of times.
You don't have an ex-husband.
I do have a husband. He's not ex, but
Right.
he died.
Okay, so
But there's always baggage, is what I'm saying.
going on, they complained about the man being set in their own ways. They might have this old toxic masculinity mentality, which is kind of dicky over here, and people might judge you. Okay, so then older women dating younger men. This is
What they have to say.
this is your perspective over
Yes.
here. Okay, the pros are it's fun, exciting. You feel like a boss.
And you smoke hash under a jar and go looking for cicadas,
That's exactly right. Okay, the cons are the younger men might play games with you.
which is true.
They might have younger children, which we didn't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
If they have children from a prior marriage, and now you're basically mommying these little kids again.
Yeah, it doesn't really happen that much.
Yeah, it could happen.
It could.
This person mentioned this. They could be emotionally or financially unstable.
That could happen.
That was a common one.
Yeah.
It might be hard to connect with them intellectually, and people might judge you. What do you think about that intellectual?
I don't think it's accurate.
You can connect with these intellectually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can connect with them. And we may not agree on anything, but we could connect.
You can have a discussion.
Well, I think people tend to be with someone who's like intelligence and like looks.
Yeah. Okay. So here's the matrix for younger man dating older woman. Again, this could be younger woman dating older woman. Okay. It does.
All right, we get it.
Okay.
it.
I just want to be.
You're just
fucking
trying to be
equitable.
inclusive.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay. So the
So who is
pros.
this? Who
This
is
is from
this?
the man's perspective. The younger man dating an older woman.
All right,
The
young
pros
guys.
are the you can learn sex from the older woman.
Oh, yeah.
Less games with the older woman.
Oh, yeah.
They likely won't want children.
Oh, yeah.
And the cons are They likely won't want children.
That's not necessarily a con.
Which is, it could be a con if you want a family.
Right.
If you start falling in love with this woman,
Right,
then you want a family. This has crossed my mind.
It's true. That is true.
And people might judge you. People might judge you as a con for all of these things, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why people care about people judging.
I don't know. It's uncomfortable. Okay, the final quadrant, older man dating younger woman from the man's perspective. This is the classic, what we've all seen throughout
Sugar
history.
daddy.
It could be a sugar daddy. The pros are it's fun, exciting, you feel like a boss. Those are mentioned.
Yeah.
Could be, yeah, I mean, it's similar for an older woman and an older man.
No. No one said that the younger girl is going to teach the older man how to have sex.
No. This is from the older man's perspective.
Right.
The older man, the older woman dating the younger person. It's fun, exciting, and you feel like a boss. Those are the main benefits from these types of relationships.
But he's not learning from her. No one ever said that.
Are you learning from these?
Am I learning? Am I learning from D's? Yeah.
I also wanted to say that the cons are that for the older man, the younger woman might outpace your sex drive.
Mm-hmm.
They might want a family. They might want to play games. And it might be harder to connect with intellectually. And people might judge them. Although I actually took that one out because I don't think the older man usually gets judged so hard.
Oh, yes,
the younger
they
woman.
do.
Really?
Yeah, they get judged.
Yeah, maybe by you.
By me.
So that was my takeaway.
Thank you. I actually thought that was very good research.
You like that summary?
Yeah, and I think it's very accurate.
If you want to participate in these conversations, please give us a text at 310-356-3920. I did have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Okay, one thing that was not discussed.
Yoga teacher?
No.
What?
The fuck? What is yoga teacher?
You always talked about the older yoga teacher fantasy.
I'm getting into the age of where the yoga teachers are usually my age now.
Or they might be younger.
Jesus Christ. I got to get back to the yoga studio. Anyway, is it weird when you start introducing your significantly different aged partner to your friends? Because I could imagine a situation if I'm dating someone, say, who's 50 and I'm 33 right now. Mm-hmm. And we're starting to see each other. And I start hanging around with all of her 50-year-old friends.
That is the thing, yeah.
I'm just hanging out with these 50-year-old dudes?
Yeah. And honestly, I think that sometimes could be problematic.
Really?
Yeah, I think it could be. Especially sometimes the older dudes get very intimidated about the young stud that's coming into the group. Yeah.
Wow.
I did notice that.
And I can also see in the reverse. If I were dating, so say I'm 33, I'm dating a 21-year-old.
Yeah, can you imagine bringing around your friends?
Yeah.
Your friends would judge the shit out of you.
They would judge me, and then what, am I going to hang out with her 21-year-old friends?
Yeah, they'll go raging.
Go raging? What is that?
You're going to go raging, Cam.
I mean, it could be fun. It could be, but it would be very challenging, I think, eventually.
Let's just face facts. If you're hanging around a 21-year-old, it's mostly sexual, and you're in the bedroom, you don't have to go raging or introduce her to any friends.
So that was another question I had for you. Does the age gap become more or less relevant as you grow older?
The age gap becomes irrelevant as you get older. Like right now, for me in my 60s, dating someone in their 40s or 50s,
right,
it's not a big deal. But if you do the early 20s and the 30s, 40s, that's a big deal.
That's what I was thinking. What about, though, when you get more senior? We're talking 70 to 90.
Well, like you with Waltrout?
Yes.
You with the...
I fell in love with a 100-year-old woman.
She's not... She was like in her 90s.
I think she hit 100.
What are you, keeping up with her? Sending her birthday cards?
Okay. Anyway... Say a 70-year-old and a 90-year-old.
I don't think there's any difference.
You don't think there's... I mean,
no,
the 90-year-old is very close to death.
I just heard this recently. One of my friends, her mother was 90. She passed away.
Okay.
The father was 94.
Okay.
The father, a year later, has found a young chick of 85.
I love that.
You love it?
Yeah. But that's a 9-year age difference. It's not so extreme, but I can imagine 15, 20 years. Now we're talking like your health at 70 is going to be different than your health at 90.
I got to tell you, me and Dee's both did a quiz on how long you're going to live, okay? And he's 15 years younger. Guess who was going to live longer?
Who?
Me. Because of his lifestyle. His habits are not...
It sounds like you got a good thing going on with these.
Deez and I have a lot of fun together, and I think that's the most important thing of everything we talked about today. Do you have fun with your partner?
Do you have fun with the partner?
Do you have fun? I mean, because the bottom line is you're the one living your life.
It's true.
Living your best cougarish life.
Mother, before this podcast ends, I just wanted to give you the opportunity to do Mom's News.
Mom's News.
Mom's News. What do you... Mom's News for our new Sneaky Freaks is the segment of our show where my mother shares earth-shattering, groundbreaking, need-to-know info. What do we got this week, Mother?
Well, this is very apropos, I think. It actually was brought to us by one of the Sneaky Freaks, Megan. Thank you, Captain Megan, for bringing this to our
Thank you,
attention.
Captain Megan.
It's from Vice.
Oh, boy.
And
This is a reputable source.
Yeah, reputable.
of.
Yeah. This grandma's dying wish was a giant dick on her grave.
A dick on her grave.
Yeah, the grave of a 99-year-old Catarina Perez is now topped with a huge penis and testicles weighing nearly 600 pounds.
No way.
I freaking love that. This woman, she's got what I call moxie.
She's got a fucking shit-eating grin on her face in this picture.
She just had one final wish. She wanted this giant statue of a dick on top of her grave.
That is fucking
I think
hilarious.
I want that as my dying wish, Cam.
Do you think the cemetery cares if there's a big dick in the middle of the cemetery?
Well, wait, you know what? If it's a vulva, it looks like a plant, or it could be a
You
flower.
want a vulva on you?
Yeah, we would put a vulva on mine.
Okay.
Well, her family unveiled the completed monument, a 5.5-foot tall cock and balls weighing nearly 600 pounds.
This thing
mountain
is fucking huge.
recognition of her love and joy for life. See, that's what I'm saying. She dated a bunch of. Oh, I forgot. I got to read on about how many times she was married.
Oh, boy.
Okay. There's a few. She always said in the Mexican sense that we're all virgas. Do you know what virgas is?
Like unripe, I think. Green.
There are a few words in Mexican slang as dynamic as virga, which is perhaps best translated in English as cock due to its general use as a profanity.
I did not know
Depending
this.
on how it's phrased, virga can be a brutal insult telling someone to go fuck themselves, or that they are not worth shit. Or it can be a compliment, a badge of honor, that if something's virga, it's cool or badass. So that we're going to use those terms from now on.
You're Virga, Mom.
So she installed the message to her children, grandchildren, and great-children that they were virgas and could accomplish whatever they wanted, especially the women, in a country steeped in machismo,
Judge Machismo.
said Moto. Many members of the family went on to wide-ranging careers. Sister got her doctorate degree.
Mom,
all right.
gives a flying fuck what
I
the rest of
don't-
the family's doing.
Well, she raised a nice brood.
A nice brood with a big dick on her.
But the most important thing is that the grandmother saw her life with great optimism and that problems shouldn't overwhelm us. She conceptualized that idea to the family with the metaphor of a penis, meaning when you're a virga, one should not give up. When problems arose, you need to face them head on.
Wow. No pun intended. Thank you for that Mom's News.
Mom's news.
Mom's News. A big thank you to Captain Megan for submitting that. If anyone wants to submit some Mom's News for consideration, shoot us that text at 310-356.
3920. I could always add another staff member to my researchers.
I think we've reached the end of the show, Mother.
Oh, are we not going to do what I think you want to do?
Cam's Uppers.
Yeah?
My Cam's Uppers this week is like almost too depressing. So
Cam's Downers?
all right, you guys asked for it, so
No, they didn't ask for
it's
it.
Cam's
Oh,
Uppers.
shit.
This is the segment of the show where you guys got your little juices flowing down there, where your tits become fucking hard like cut glass. It's Cam's Uppers.
Cam's Uppers is a place to be. Fun living is a life for me.
It's Cam's Uppers, the segment of the show where I get to share something near and dear to my heart, something that my mother typically finds,
Excruciatingly boring, and it sounds like it's going to be a downer today.
or
Negative. Sometimes it could be good.
it's Cam's Uppers. Okay, I'm reading a book called Ishmael.
Oh,
This is a spoiler alert if you're ever planning to read this book.
no one is planning on reading Ishmael.
I'm going to give you just a
What
brief
year did
summary.
Ishmael get printed?
In, I think 1999 or something like that.
All right.
So it's kind of like a spiritual, fictional text. I love this type of
shocker.
shit. Love it.
Yeah.
It's, this young guy who's on a journey to fucking find them. What are you giving me? I didn't even get to any. You're already zooming me over.
Wrap it
fast
up.
forwarding?
Yeah,
no
let's
way.
Just a quick
This
summary.
he's looking for, this young guy is looking for, a guide, a leader, a guru. And he finds it in the form of a gorilla. And the gorilla teaches him all about captivity and what it's like to be in captivity. Because the gorilla has spent most of his life in captivity. And he makes the point that all humans are in captivity.
Why?
And we're behind bars that we can't even sense. Oh, this is good.
No, it's not
This
good.
is good stuff right
That
here.
is a very
We
depressing. and
we're
that's
very much in captivity. We got to break the fuck out.
how is that an upper?
I told you it wasn't the
It's a
most
downer.
enlightening. I know. I got to
It's
get past.
Cam's Downers was the place
I'm
to
still
be.
very early in the book, but I can't stop thinking about this. I'm looking
All
around.
right.
Where are the bars? What is holding us back? And is it work? Is it our thought that like we are the ultimate beings on this planet?
Is it because you're not dating enough cougars?
No, it has nothing to do with cougars. All right.
That's
you know
the
what?
end of the show, folks.
This Cam's Uppers. If anyone has any opinions on Ishmael or being in captivity, you feel free to submit your thoughts to 310-356.
3920.
I will respond to those texts, okay?
That's fine with me, Cam.
I want to thank everyone who's made the show possible,
Especially-
including the Cougar herself, KarenLee Poter,
Oh, thank you. This
And
is called
including
the
the-
Cougar Chronicles.
including the Cub himself, Joseph, Dr.
Joseph.
Self Tapes. If you need some video needs, come on over to Dr. Self Tapes in LA. And thank you to all of our Patreon members.
I did want to say we did get a few comments on other social media platforms.
We don't have time for this.
Well, I just want to say this one, which is apropos. Me and another friend of mine back in the day, this guy named D Jugulator says, "Are they cougars or gilfs?"
How do you feel about the term gilf?
I hate that. If I didn't hate MILF enough, gilf is even worse.
Well,
Grandma,
he did say,
I
are
like
they
to fuck.
cougars?
Cougars or gilfs?
Okay, anyway,
Thank you, dejugulators.
thank you to everyone who's left us comments, all of our patrons who are giving us financial support so we can film in this amazing studio and hire an awesome editor.
Check out our TikTok page because it's hilariously funny, and share it with a friend.
Please share this with a friend. That's the biggest way you can help us out, other than financially. Okay, but we've reached the end of the show. Do you want to sing them out, Mother?
I do.
Sing them.
Let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees, and of course those cubbies and cougaries.
The Cougarese.
I should have said cougars and cubbies. but-
Yeah. Oh, that would have been much better.
Yeah. Oh, well.
All right.
You guys should try doing it one of these days.
Yeah, try it out on your own. Let us
It's
know
not
how it
that
goes.
easy.
All right. Love you all.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
You were listening to a Pleasure Podcast. For more from our Sex Podcast Collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.